Hello. So this one's an emergency video to talk about specifically two characters that I rated quite highly in the list. So those two characters are Talisman, Sinclair, and Sloshing. So, okay, so it's not that Sloshing is bad, alright? The fact that she can transfer Tremor and Rupture without like consuming them in the case of Rupture, because if you lose the Clash, right, you're not consuming the Rupture, which is great. So I think that overall this kit is fantastic. Alright. The problem with her is that I think unfortunately all of the Ishmaels literally won in this patch. Except the base one. You can use this, you can use this, you can use this, you can use this. And this one is a core of the Tremor and Rupture count. This one is the Burn Gang, this one is the Crit Gang, this one is the Sinking Gang. As you can see, there's a bit too many options for Ishmael right now, and this is not even including the egos, of which Ishmael has Other Blossom Star. You can even upgrade Kapot because Kapot becomes AoE, so it's also very good for defeating enemies with blunt damage. But then Other Blossom is also a 40 something coin that can hit AoE. So because of that, right, there's actually too many options for Ishmael to be choosing nowadays. She just won too hard in this patch that your resources probably can go somewhere else, alright? So, Sloshing, even though she's an amazing tank, she shares slots with 4 other amazing IDs. So, she is probably the weaker tank just because you cannot pick another Ishmael which got a buff this patch. There are so many other good tanks as well, so you can just pick like what, Massault. Massault has what, 1, 2, even 3 tank IDs. W Massault can still tank, she is more of a slash tanker, but he's actually a very good clasher nowadays too. So like you can choose your flavor of tank from this character here. You can choose Otis as your tank if you want to, because Otis doesn't really have another option here. There are also, I think there's a Sinclair, although Sinclair has quite a few better options, yeah. So, I mean, there's quite a few options for tanking. I mean, the king of tanking is right here too, K-Kop Honglu, you know. Like, there's so many other options. But Ishmael suffers in that everyone else is good too. I want to use R-Corp Ishmael, I want to use Liu Ishmael, I want to use LCCB Ishmael, I want to use She Section Ishmael, like... Yeah, I think Ishmael should go down to major at least. Okay, I'm very impressed by the kit change, okay? She went from literally garbage to, yo, she has a interesting use now because she doesn't consume the Rupture because she loses the Clash. She also applies Tremor as well, so she applies both at quite massive amounts depending on the skill. And this skill has some pretty good coinage too. Like, it's not trash coinage. And you can also just use guard to just tank shit if you don't want to, you know, accidentally consume coinage or whatever. Like, there's so much good stuff about her, but she's fighting with some of the best IDs in the game who won super big in this patch. So, yeah, I'm going to probably throw her down to major. Just so I want to represent that she's not that high of a priority compared to the rest. But if you still want to use her, because she is still super good, I still like her a lot, then go ahead. Okay, so that is all I have to say about Ishmael. She just won so hard this patch, it's crazy. Okay, next one. Talisman. So, Talisman, from what I've been talking with some people, he actually got worse, like so much worse that never uptie for him. Okay, so if you haven't uptied, if you have uptied, then I'm sorry, you have to wait for a P-Moon patch. But if you haven't uptied, don't uptie him at all. Okay, so what's up with Talisman, alright? So Talisman's whole purpose in life was to, on hit, inflict Rupture by the count, when hit, gain Rupture by the count. Okay, so this helps to stack Rupture, right? So it's a very good Rupture gang. You can use him for bosses. He's very niche in that he's really only very good for bosses, but he still has that niche, you know. In MD2 hard, you can do all your niche stuff if you want to. I have some friends who did Talisman, and then they do Rupture stacking with Otis. They do Rupture stacking with Ishmael. Yeah, they can do a lot of stuff with Rupture. So this was quite a bad uptie. What happened was that they made it so you would give 7 and you would gain 6. it actually makes him worse than leaving him at uptie 3. So this is the only case so far I found. When you uptie for him, he gives 7. Now look at that turn end condition. At 6 plus count, remove all talisman and take fixed damage by its count. You just give 7 talisman, all of your friends will have to hit, and then they apply a bunch of rupture, right? But at the turn end, it's all gone. All of that talisman that you just applied is all gone. Okay, then what happens if you gain 6? Assuming that you have enough rupture, right? Sometimes you could have less rupture, so you only gain 5, which is perfect. But what I'm more concerned about is what happens if there's too much rupture on the enemy and then you gain 6. At 6 plus count. 6 plus count means 6 also. 6 or 7. Remove all talisman and take fixed damage. So you just nuked yourself. I talked about this in the previous video, so I'm just reiterating again. Basically, he nukes his own talisman count, and he nukes the enemy's talisman count. Let's look at uptie 3, alright? So, he gains 4 here, right? And he gives 5. 5 is the perfect number, because talisman does not get removed here. Turn end at 6 plus, remove all. But if the turn end there is no 6 or higher, it will stay. So you can just stack this 5 talisman and you're good to go. Alright? You don't need to get any more. You're pretty much set. So why when you uptie, you give 7? Why would you uptie to gain 6? To dump, I mean, okay, to gain 6 to dump all the talisman on yourself. Kind of. No, that's cope already, that's cope. The real one here is this skill tree. You want to, this is the main one, because you want to give the talisman to the target so that you can apply the rupture. But why would you give 7 so that you only have 1 turn of it? It applies more rupture, but it's not as good as 5, because you apply 5 and it just stays there and then you just keep stacking the rupture like crazy. My friend stacked up to 99 with this talisman, so it's possible, very possible. It's just, oh my goodness, man. What were they thinking? Who was balancing this character? Because this is not right. This ain't right. And yeah, okay. So I think I've talked about the two characters that I had some problems with. Besides that, so far no other big changes. I think for Rabbit, yes, sorry, I think I'll add one more to this video. So Rabbit, I think Rabbit, I spread some misinformation. Rabbit does not gain 3 ammo per stage. It apparently only works at the start of the stage. So Rabbit only gains 3 ammo straight up. Alright, so he starts with 13 ammo, he gains plus 3 ammo, 16 ammo. All stages will have 16 ammo. I admit that this is just super minor, but at the same time it just gives, you know, 3 extra ammo. 3 extra ammo means you can technically do 1 more quick suppression if you just body sack to get your move. So I think it's still okay. I just don't think it's that big of a deal. Yeah, I don't think you would pay that much cost to do this for Heathcliff. Let's look at Heathcliff stuff actually. Let me double check this, alright. Heathcliff. She got some good stuff. Sunshower was okay, Encop was okay with the final power. We don't talk about the base. What about the egos? Let's see, egos. Heathcliff egos. I would say only ADD got some good stuff. Yeah, so actually in terms of good stuff, Rabbit could be considered pretty okay to invest in, because there's really no other good Heathcliff stuff to like uptie. Maybe ADD is a consideration. Okay, no, so sorry. Body sack is also 100% a consideration. So okay, no, there are 3 things to uptie. So yeah, I think Rabbit is still perfectly functional by itself. I think body sack takes priority, followed by Rabbit, maybe. And if you want to use the other characters like Heathcliff, who literally becomes a useful unit, or Encop Heathcliff, who also becomes a more useful unit in the Encop gang, you could also do those, yeah. But I think body sack here takes priority. Then if you want to upgrade Rabbit to get 3 more bullets for Reflection Railway, it's also a possibility, yeah. So okay, that is I think it for this video. Any more in my mind? Double checking. Nah, I don't think so. Okay, so with that said about Heathcliff, I think I am done with this video. Leave more comments if you have any other characters that I messed up. I'm not gonna update that list yet. I'll probably update it when I'm back on Monday. I'll just read through the comments a little bit more, think about it, talk to the theory crafters, and then I'll get back to you guys. Yep. Alright, so that is it for this video. I shall talk to you guys on Monday. Bye bye.